I'm going to share with you in this video how to change your life. Now I know what you're thinking. What does that have to do with anything? Hear me out for just a minute. A while ago, I went and did a class in Toronto. Now, when you fly out of LA, you can't park in the airport. You have to park off-site, and then they bus you in and bus you out. Well, when I landed and I was coming back, there was these three guys sitting across from me. They're a little older than me, but every one of them was packing easy 60, 70 pounds more than me, and they were sitting slumped over, slack shoulders. They weren't breathing very deeply. They had a very shallow breathe, and they looked miserable. I had a moment of clarity. I thought, that is my future unless I change something. I decided to hire a personal trainer. And when I went, I just thought, I'm gonna go and just work out just to feel better, to get in a better shape so that as I age, I don't fall apart. And here's what happened. One day I'm doing these exercises he has me doing. He has a barbell and it's got maybe 50 pounds on it and you have to pull it up and then press it. So he says, okay, do 10 of these with the barbell. And then he has this sled that he packs a lot of weight on. As soon as you finish with the barbell, push the sled across the parking lot and push it back. So I'm like, okay, I can do that. Here's the trick. I want you to do it 3 times without stopping. I don't know about that. Well, you got this. So I did the presses, and then I ran the sled back, and I ran it back. And then he goes, don't stop, do the second press. I do that, I push the sled, I come back, and the third time, I'm pushing this thing, and I can't run back with it anymore, so I'm just pushing it, walking. And he's like, that's fine, just don't stop. When I finished, my heart is busting out of my chest. I'm literally laying on the cement in the parking lot, breathing, like I'm going to pass out. He's like, okay, good job. Take a break for a minute, and then we're going to do 2 more sets. There is absolutely no way that I'm going to be able to do 2 more sets. I'm laying in the parking lot. There's no way that's going to happen again. Without stopping, no way. I relax a minute, he comes out and he says, okay, let's do it again. Okay, let's start. I gotta do it anyway. So I do my clean and press, push the sled across the parking lot, and he goes, don't think about it, just do it. So I grab it, I do it the second time, run the sled back, third time, and I go. At this point, I'm feeling really weak. It's hard to breathe. I did 3 sets without stopping. Here at this point, I'm leaning against the wall, holding the building up, because if I don't, I'm gonna fall over. He goes, okay, we'll take a minute and we'll do the last set. I'm like, okay. I'm completely miserable waiting to do this 3rd set. So I think, what the f, let's go ahead and do it. So I stand up, I do my clean and press, and then I start running the prowler, the sled across the parking lot, coming back. I go through and I do the second, push the prowler, I come back, 3rd one, push it and come back, and I did 3 sets of 3 without stopping, anytime in between except for the rest break. You know, after I finished, I had this moment, and it's not anything that I take lightly. Instead of, yay for me, I finished all 3, yay, I didn't think I could do it. It was heavy on my heart because at that moment I realized I just did something that I knew I couldn't do. I knew without a shadow of a doubt there's no way I can do it, but yet I just did it. And it hit me heavy because at that moment I thought, where else in my life have I not even attempted something because I knew I couldn't do it? I've not even approached someone to say hi because I thought, oh, they're not interested in me. I didn't go apply for a job that I wanted. I don't think that I'll fit in. How many times in my life have I let myself down because I didn't think I could do it? Too many. So going to the gym will change your life. If not physically, it will change your life mentally. Because the only person that's holding you back from doing what you want to do is yourself. Period. So the minute that you decide you want to do it, you'll do it. That brings me to our technical of the week. This technical is on a model named Liberty, and we do a nice little undercut, and we leave the top long. This is a haircut that I picked up some pointers from Andrew Does Hair. He does a really great job with this, and this is a modified version of that. So I hope you like it. Check it out. We're going to start at the recession, take that section straight back to the quarter part down to the occipital. Take a section parallel to the front hairline, comb that to the front of the hairline, pull it out 90 degrees. That's going to be my guide for the entire underneath section. I'm going to then take section 1 and 2, bring to the center of both of those sections and cut. Section here is 2 and 3. Cut to the center of both sections 2 and 3. Now I'll take section 4. I'll take section 3 and 4 to the center of both of those sections, and that's how I'm going to walk the guide all the way back into the center of the nape, and just follow that guide all the way through to the back. The hardest part about this is staying on top of your guide. So with every section that you introduce, it's easier to get that section longer or shorter than what the guide is. So you really have to practice and maintain that perfection of cutting directly on top of your guideline. I'm going to continue that back into the nape. And just be patient. Follow your guide. There's your guide. Each section I'll continue to add to, and it will gradually get longer. But the more sections that I take going from the front to the back, the less increase of length that I'm going to have. The larger the sections that I take, the greater the increase of length. So if I take big sections, it's going to be short in the front and longer in the back. If I take small sections, it's going to be almost the same length all the way back. Here I'm just going to cross-check and make sure everything is fairly even, and then putting my finger to press the ear down, I'm going to outline it a little bit over the ear. I don't want it real hard, I want to keep it soft, so I'm point cutting it. Using the comb to pick it up so I don't run into the risk of cutting her ear. Do the same thing on the other side. Center of the recession to the quarter part to the occipital bone. The first section is parallel to the front hairline, and then I will continue to work that back to the center. The left side for me is always a little harder because I'm cutting up on this side, so I have to really make sure that I position myself to where I don't get it longer on the left side. The way you position your scissors when you're cutting up is more difficult on the left side than it is on the right side. Again, I'm going to point cut in detail around the ears, and then I'm going to use the comb to help pick up the hair over the ear and make sure that that's clean and still soft. Now I'm going to start working on the top. I'm going to take from the crown to the top of the hairline over the ears. And then I'm going to take a vertical section, I'm going to hold that out and continue the graduation that I had started on the sides, and I'm going to continue that up and out and create a brand new guide, going from shorter to longer. That was the center section. Now I'm going to take a section to the right of that, about the same size as the center. Hold that straight out 90 degrees from the head, using the center section as my guide, and I'm going to walk this guide over to the right side. I'm not pulling everything back into the center. I'm walking the guide from the center out, and I'll do this on both sides. I want the shape to be fairly square and even in the back. I don't want to introduce too much length buildup right now. I'll do that when we get to the top, but right now I want to keep this fairly square. Cross-check, make sure everything is looking fairly clean. I'll point cut to keep the edges soft. Now I'm going to take a section parallel to the section that I started with, and I'm going to hold that straight back off the curvature of the head, and then I'm going to razor that length off. So I'm using the guide that I created underneath with the scissor, and now I'm just going to create internal texture, and I'm going to cut the length at the same time. Continue until you run out of hair. And I'll try to make sure that I have the same amount of weight on each side. Some sections will get more razoring, some will get less.
Now I'm going to start working on the side. So I'll take a horizontal section from the back to the front, and then I'm going to hold that down and clean up whatever line was already there from me pulling everything to the back. So I want to keep as much length as we had in the front, so I'm not cutting that much. I'm just going to razor the ends to make sure that the texture matches what I've already been cutting in the back of the head. Same thing on the other side. Follow whatever guide is there. Just texturize the ends a little bit to make sure that the textures match. Now the texture is not going to match from top to bottom, but as long as it matches from front to back on the top, it'll be fine and it will all blend in smooth.
You crack me up.